Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. That's all honor, praise, and glory to the Most High God in the name of His begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And we're gonna do a quick lesson on just not being a chatty patty, right? And just I dealt with a certain experience. That's why I'm bringing it out. Dealing with certain issues in the workplace. And you know that certain people, they go behind your back and discuss certain things. And and as time goes along, certain things get revealed. You know what I'm saying? And we always have to go back to the scriptures as a measuring tool, because there's a lot of fakeness. So we measure the sincerity. We can measure the fake and sincerity through what the scriptures say, and how a righteous man move and how a unrighteous man moves. So we see somebody who might seem friendly, but you're measuring the wrong thing. You got to measure how the person moves and how he reacts to you, and and how his walk is and how he moves about. So those are the people you will know later on, like if you can confide in them, or if you can if you know what I'm saying, if you can trust them later on as well. You know what I'm saying? And like the scripture speaks about Yahweh Shai, how he foresaw how the man was gonna sell him out and deny his name 3 times. So like those abilities, what I'm saying, the most what you call it, Yahweh Shai, he was able to have those abilities because he was the living embodiment of the truth. You know what I'm saying? He had that power. So we gotta tap into our power dealing with this word, and then through our power we'll be able to identify those type of spirits. um so like, as I'm looking in retrospect to my own experience with dealing with certain people, like I know that when it comes to that day, I could pretty much tell like who's gonna sell me out and who's not. You know what I'm saying? Who's real and who's not. Who, what, on what level to deal with this person and what level to deal with that person. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those lanes dealing with the gossip. How you can identify those that deal unrighteously. These are the people that that will betray you, because they're already they're already going behind people's backs. You know what I'm saying? But let's deal with this chatty patty thing. Let's deal with the gossip. Um and this is just a quick little gossip breakdown, because it was on my mind. And there's a scripture I was looking for before also, um dealing with I think it's in the Apocrypha, but I forget the scripture. But it has is reference to like not really taking heed to the chatter of servants. You know what I'm saying? Like if you sitting down one day, let's say you at the workplace, or you in the street or wherever, or you dealing amongst family, and then you might hear in your ear maybe something that maybe they think you're not listening, but you hear it, and then maybe it's about you in a negative way. Well, you should, or like if you, yeah, at the workplace too, you might hear a coworker say something. But don't take heed to a servant. You know what I'm saying? Don't take heed to what these people have to say behind your back, because there was an instance, maybe you might have said something about your boss too. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have said something about someone too. So you shouldn't really take heed with that, because that those words, they get lost in the wind. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, it gets said, and then they act brand new when they see you. You know what I mean? So just those sort of things, brush to the side. That's a scripture. I gotta find that scripture. It escapes me right now. But let's deal with this. Um, Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto its hearers. So our speech should always be seasoned with salt, when we're dealing with any type of matter. So that way, the what you put out is what you're gonna receive back. So these people who feel comfortable with you might feel comfortable with you in one hand being a chatty patty. You know what I'm saying? They might not feel so comfortable being a chatty patty with you because they know already how you speak and what you portray out. So they're not gonna give you that negative energy coming your way. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna avoid dealing with you on that level. So let's move a little forward, right? A forward man sows strife, and a whisperer separateth cheap friends. So just you shouldn't. We're gonna go into this a few times, but you shouldn't just because somebody's speaking ill of you, that doesn't mean you should repeat it out to other people and go back and forth, gossiping about one another, because then those people who you're gossiping to, they're gonna see you in a false way. You know what I'm saying? So you should just definitely not take regard to that. You know what I'm saying? Or you shouldn't participate in any whispering, any gossiping. You know what I'm saying? Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. So anytime you're spreading any type of rumors and gossip, you don't know who you telling. That person might tell the person on top of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not worth saying anything ill about the boss. It's not worth saying anything ill about the manager, because everybody's out here seeking, cloud chasing and seeking, a better position. So they might use what you say. They might throw it out there, and then the boss hear it, and then now the boss has that in the back of his mind when he's dealing with you. So that might be definitely something that you got to consider. You know what I'm saying? Or just dealing in general in your day to day. If any man, a proverb, James 1, Salakia, James 1 and 20, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and brittleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man religion is vain. So brittleth means to restrain. So you should be able to restrain your tongue. You shouldn't be gossiping, or you shouldn't be maybe having an angry speech, based on your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Somebody shouldn't be able to take you off your square just based off what they say. And if they do, then you deceive your own heart. Your religion is vain at that point. So you should be able to control your emotions and not have the response of somebody else. Something that somebody does to you shouldn't cause you a reaction, to do something to them. You got to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, right? Like the scriptures say. Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So when we hear idle word, we have the modern understanding of that word idle. That word idle means like pretty much like not doing anything, like standing still, or in this context you would think it would mean idle word would mean only like not saying something in that moment in time. But when you look at that word idle, it's interesting, right? When you look at the word idle, it also means idle talk, nonsense, right? So when we speaking of idle chatter or idle word, right? That every idle word that men shall speak. So just speaking nonsense, like frivolous talk. That frivolous talk, the Lord said He gonna give account. You got to give account of that frivolous talk in the day of judgment. So you're gonna be judged for all these things that you say, that idle chatter, in the day of judgment. Everything that you say should be for edifying, like the scriptures say in Ephesians, like we just read, right? So our speech always has to be seasoned with salt. We got to work on this daily. You know what I'm saying? This is not something easy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get caught in idle chatter. We got to check ourselves dealing with idle chatter, and we gotta move forward, right? Analyze ourselves daily. That's what we're doing right now. We're analyzing ourselves. We're going through these scriptures. We're gonna meditate on these scriptures, and then we're gonna analyze ourselves based on what we're reading and what we're hearing right now. Psalms 101 and 5. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him I will cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Right? So the Lord's gonna do the work. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about these people who slander and have that proud look, on them. they're gonna get cut off. So the Lord already said it. So there's nothing that you need to do, you know what I'm saying? You gotta just stay away from those sort of people like that, right? Or don't contribute to their idle chatter, or don't contribute to that whispering, right? Psalms 34:13. Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. What's guile? Let's look at what guile is, right? They was Street Fighter character after him, right? This is the great thing. I brought this out to a brother the other day. Scripture said not to speak guile, right? They named the Street Fighter character. His name was Guile, right? And what is guile? Dolos. I wrote Dolo from state to state. Crafty, and deceit, right? And guile, right? So they made guile crafty, and the epitome of guile is, when you think of guile, if you played the game Street Fighter, he's a blonde Edomite, stereotypical military general, captain, like he got an American flag tattoo on his arm, the epitome of the Edomite. And they made his name Guile, which is interesting, right? And then remember, it's not Esau developing that game. It's the so-called Chinaman, Japanese man developing that game. The Moab or Ammonite. So the perception of the American poster boy is exactly what Guile is, and they named him Guile, right? That's interesting. It's interesting. You gotta think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a subliminal message and all of that. But moving forward, we shouldn't speak guile, right? We shouldn't speak deceits, craftiness. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't speak like that, and we should hold our tongue from evil. And then this is something that we should be meditating on every day, man. Sometimes it slips up, man. Sometimes you be in the midst of wicked individuals, and that influence gets on you. Them spirits that's surrounding those brothers, it jumps on you, and you get caught up in that. And even myself, man, I sometimes I fall into that. So we have to analyze ourselves daily, man. Pray to the Lord that He keeps that evil tongue away from your lips, man, and keeps you could just recite this in a prayer, man. You say, Lord, please keep my tongue from evil, and keep my lips from speaking guile, so that way I could keep the ordinances you set forth for us. This is a good prayer right here, man. We should definitely meditate and pray on this, right? Titus 3:2. To speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. So what's meekness? Let's get into what the word meekness means real quick. Quick definition. Let's do the quick Google. Man, fact or condition of being meek, submissive, right? Having patience, long suffering, right? So we should just deal patiently with men, all men, right? You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be strife and contention. Everything doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying, like combative. We could deal meekly, you know what I'm saying? Some brothers like to exhort certain scriptures over other scriptures. They don't want to exhort meekness. They want to exhort the rude in speech scripture, using it out of context, or make your head hard against their head scripture. They rather to raise up those scriptures and not raise up meekness, which is mentioned multiple times, versus those scriptures which are only mentioned once, and to fit their context. But we gotta raise up meekness, lowly and meekness, right? Proverbs 17:4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, right? So we gotta somebody who's gonna listen to false lips is a wicked doer, right? And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. So you're gonna entertain based on your spirit, man. We gotta stay away from these sort of men and women that deal in that fashion. James 4:11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. So that's powerful. Like, this is something that you really need to meditate on. Don't speak evil of one another. You know what I'm saying? Especially this, speaking of the brothers in the walk. You know what I'm saying? We should be encouraging each other and praying for each other, man. You got brothers all every day making a video about each other and doing this and that and the third. That's not my office. If you think that that's your office, then you do you over there. I'm not encouraging that. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be going back and forth with one another. Take that beam out your own eye, man. But if thou judge the law, thou art a doer of the law. Wait. Let me read that again. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. Right? Well, Proverbs 26 and 20. Where there's no wood, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. So that's a good parable. You know what I'm saying? Wherever there's no wood, there's not going to be a fire. And the same way, if there's nobody being a talebearer, the strife is going to cease. So that's how you get those those men that are talebearers and dealing in that sort of manner in your congregation. Get them up out of there, right? Those women too, right? Okay, Proverbs 11 and 13. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is faithful spirit concealeth the matter, right? You're gonna have a talebearer telling people about your financial situation, or speaking ill about your whatever you got going on. We got to be of the faithful spirit, you know what I'm saying? And now reveal those things about our brothers and sisters, right? 2 Timothy 2 and 16. But shun profane and vain babblings, right? We should shun that. If we hear somebody even speaking ill about another brother, we should stop that person and catch him. Be like, yo, nah, man, nah, I'm not. I don't like to talk around people's backs. You know what I'm saying? Let them know they transgression off the rip. Like when you catch them in the act, because then they're gonna feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just catch them like, yo, nah, I don't like to talk behind people's backs. Why don't you just go speak to him real quick? That's how you should deal with it, right? But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Because all that's gonna do is it's gonna grow bigger and bigger in the backgrounds. So it's gonna start. It starts off with one thing that you might dislike about the person, and then boom, it's gonna turn into this. Now it's gonna turn into this. Now it's gonna turn into this, and it grows, right? Proverbs 10 and 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. So he that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. So we gotta do better out here, man. We gotta get that out of our heart. We gotta pray to the Lord to get rid of any hatred in our heart for another brother or sister, and not utter slander towards one another, man. Being filled with all unrighteousness this is a different topic, right? Exodus 23 and 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report, but put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. So that's another thing that goes into talebearing too. Dealing, being a false witness, and that's a major sin. That's a capital offense in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Being an unrighteous, giving false reports. So that gossip can lead to that. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody who might have that hatred deep into their heart, they're gonna lie on you. You know what I'm saying? So those people, they're gonna get judged by the Lord, right? All right. So 1 Timothy 5 and 13. And withal they learn to be idle, right? Wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. I think this is in reference to our women. You have a lot of our women that this is what they do. They go to their friends' houses or their family relatives' houses, and everything is gossip, 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 gossip. foolish chatter, right? Idle chatter. So this is something that we definitely have to check ourselves on, men and women. And I hear these abominations outside my window because everybody wants to be patriotic. You know, so-called Memorial Day. I'm hearing these blasts out there in the streets, right? So side note, right? Side note. Okay, Proverbs 17:9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends, right? And Proverbs 19:5. A false witness shall not be unpunished. So the Lord already told you a false witness, somebody that lie on you, they're not gonna go unpunished. And he that speaketh lies shall not escape. So don't be that person that speaketh lies. Don't be that person that's a false witness. You know, separate yourself from those sort of men. You know what I'm saying? Check them if they whispering in your ear about someone. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, shalom, shalom.